Hello, my name is James, I'm the Mayor of Jamestown, and I'm going to ask the question that no one asked. Do I regret pulling for Cyno? And the answer is yes, but actually no. So originally, when I was making this, when I originally had planned to make this video, I was going to basically say, do I regret pulling Cyno? And then I was going to say yes. And then I was going to be like, since I pulled him, I've not used him, got him to level 80, did not use him for anything other than getting friendship rank 10. As you can see, my boy is at friendship rank 10. He's sat comfortable with the deathmatch, he's got the Thundering Fury set on, his stuff is not particularly impressive, crit rate, fairly decent, 66%, crit damage could be higher, but you know, it is what it is. He is currently only sat at 80 though. Elemental Mastery, again, could also be higher. So Cyno is a character that I originally wanted to essentially replace Razor because he was basically 5-star Razor and his attacks were fast and frantic and just really fun, sort of monkey unga bunga style as it's been described in the community. But then I got the chap and then I just never used him for anything. And I don't really know why. I think I just didn't find a team that I really gelled with the lad, which is unfortunate because his attacks are phenomenal. It is some of my favorite animations in the game. They are just so exceptional. But then I remembered just how good Hyperbloom is. Now, we all know Hyperbloom is probably one of the biggest DPSs we've got right now. You get yourself something like Nahida or Alhaitham. You get someone that does Hydro application. Then you get an Electro unit with a shed ton of Elemental Mastery, or in my case, not very much. And you have a great, incredibly fun, satisfying time. So allow me to demonstrate why, in actual fact, I do not regret this boy nearly as much as I originally thought I was going to. Because originally, I can wholeheartedly say, I was going to be like, I regret pulling him. I really wish I hadn't spent like all of my Prima Gems and all of my Stardust to get him. But then I just shoved him in with my two typical units of Xingqiu and Yelan. And then obviously Nahida because she is the best Dendro unit possibly in the game. Or at the very least the best Dendro unit that I own. And yeah. Give me a moment to just build up some charge and we'll go from there. Right, Cryo Sign down. Activate pretty much all of the ults we got, ignoring Yam Phase because I needed a pyro unit to actually break the bloody thing's shield. And then we just, you know, casually do this. And then it dies. Now, allow me to include Xingqiu into the mix. Because just Yelan, I feel, doesn't convey how good this works. Unless you have Xingqiu in with Yelan, because just the double pyro just makes it so much more absurd. Like, the damage from Yelan and from Xingqiu is already insane enough as it is. Add that with, you know, Hyperbloom. It's just a great time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I always forget that this guy is the game's version of a training dummy. It happens every time. Every time. I always forget. Okay, now everyone else is up. We'll put on Nahidas, we'll do Yelans, we'll do Xingqius, then we'll do Cynos. And then just so much happens. And then because Cyno's E is just a massive AoE, any Hyperblooms you've got laying about, you know, just activate. Unfortunately, Nahida's, you know, has run off. If you can ignore the fact that Cyno died there, as he normally does, because I'm terrible, the DPS that this team creates is absurd, but at the same time, it is also very satisfying. It is very fun to play around with. Let me run it back. Nahida's E ran out way faster than it had any right to. So, now he's all annoyed and we've got all our ults up. Let's Nahida's. We'll just activate this because I don't want it to turn off again. On Yelan, put on Xingqiu. And then Cyno, you just left click. And then stuff happens. And he melts. So, in a very brief sense of the word, do I regret pulling for Cyno? Initially, 100% I did. I could not find a use for him. I could not find a team that I enjoyed his gameplay in. But this one is so much fun. It is just dumb reaction DPS. It's the reason that I think most people use Hyperbloom is that because it just does so much damage and it is so much fun because it does what Genshin does best. It just does a ton of reaction. You've got Electro Charge, you got Hyperbloom, you got Regular Bloom. Just stuff explodes all the time. It is so incredibly fun. And honestly, yeah, there are other units you can use for it, but Cyno, he just works so well with the team. You don't technically need Xingqiu or Yelan. You can have one or the other. You do need one of them, I would suggest, just because their Hydro application is incredible. I prefer both. I feel like they enable each other incredibly well in this team, but if for some reason you wanted someone, maybe you got a Xingqiu, a Dendro applicator, and you've got Cyno, or you're thinking of pulling Cyno, you can always do the old classic of adding Bennett. He buffs DPS. He may accidentally activate Virgin, that's it, there we go. But if you want a bit of extra DPS, you can always go Bennett. You could also use someone like Sucrose for the added elemental buff.
I want to help.
So you can, ult with Nahida, ult with Xingqiu, then go into Sucrose, do her, her rotation to activate, activate the extra elemental mastery, and then the thrilling Tails of Dragons, and then boom, more EM, and then more reaction damage. Basically, you can do a couple of things with a team, but in essence, my favorite is probably just going to be this one, just because it's so simple. And to be honest,
Who's our target this time?
I absolutely adore pairing Yelan and Xingqiu together. They're just so good. They're just so good at what they do. And it's really hard to find a replacement for them, or to want a reason to replace them, because their damage is just insane. But yeah, so I know Cyno only has to stick around for what? How many days? Okay, so we've got about 7 days left until he sticks around. I guess until he leaves. If you're kind of on the fence on him, if you've not done your pulling already, because I know a lot of people are really burned on Dea, maybe give Cyno a try. If you're looking for a new sort of Hyperbloom activator, you could do a lot worse than Cyno. His gameplay is a lot of fun. I think on his own he's not that strong, but paired with, a couple of decent teams, and the boy goes off. But that's all I really have to say on the matter. So, ultimately, do I regret Cyno? Not anymore. This team has completely changed how I feel about him. Thank you, Hyperbloom. You just go to demonstrate why you're so bloody strong in today's current metagame. But, alas, we must eventually come to an end. And with that, I say thank you for those that stuck around until the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And until next time, I have been James, the Mayor of Jamestown. Goodbye.